Welcome to Buddha for Sleep. This channel is a gentle space created for rest, reflection, and inner calm. Here, we share soft Buddhist-inspired stories, teachings, and guided reflections designed to help you release the weight of the day, quiet the mind, and naturally drift into deep, peaceful sleep. Through mindful words and soothing rhythms, these videos aim to ease anxiety, comfort the heart, and support emotional healing, night after night. If this space brings you even a small sense of peace, you are warmly invited to like, subscribe, and return whenever you need rest or reassurance. Your support helps this channel continue offering calm and kindness to those seeking tranquility in a busy world. In today's video, we explore the Buddha's teachings on inner peace in a turbulent world. A gentle journey into timeless wisdom that reminds us how to remain calm, steady, and compassionate even when life feels uncertain. Now, let's go. In a world that rarely grows quiet, this moment is an invitation. An invitation to slow your breathing, to soften your shoulders, and to allow the weight of the day to gently loosen its grip. If you are listening at night, perhaps lying in bed, let your eyes close naturally. If you are listening during the day, allow your attention to settle just for a little while. This is not a lecture. This is not a lesson to be mastered. This is a story, an ancient living story, meant to be felt more than understood. Before we begin, if you find comfort in content like this, stories that calm the heart, teach the mind gently, and help the spirit rest, you are warmly invited to subscribe to this channel. Your presence here matters, and your support allows these quiet spaces to continue existing in a noisy world. Now, let us begin. The world in turmoil. We live in a time of great movement. News travels faster than thought. Voices rise, collide, and compete. Opinions harden, fears multiply, and many hearts feel tired before the day has even ended. You may recognize this feeling, a subtle tension in the chest, a mind that keeps replaying conversations, a sense that no matter how much we do, it is never enough. The world seems to ask us to be faster, stronger, more certain, more successful, and yet inside there is a quiet longing for something very different, a longing for stillness, for safety, for peace that does not depend on circumstances. This longing is not new. More than 2,500 years ago, people struggled with fear, loss, uncertainty, and the pain of change, just as we do today. And in that world, turbulent in its own ways, there lived a man who chose to sit still and look deeply into suffering. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. We now know him as the Buddha, the awakened one. A story begins, Siddhartha's search. Siddhartha was born into comfort, sheltered from pain, protected from sorrow. Yet even behind palace walls, something within him felt restless. He sensed that pleasure alone could not protect the heart, that wealth could not stop aging, that love, however beautiful, could still end in loss. One night, he looked at the sleeping faces of those he loved and felt a deep ache. Not an ache of rejection, but of understanding. He understood that no one, no matter how protected, could escape suffering. And so he left. Not out of anger, not out of coldness, but out of compassion. He left to find an answer that could help not only himself, but all beings. The Quiet Revolution. For years, Siddhartha searched. He studied with teachers. He practiced severe asceticism. He starved the body, trying to free the mind. But peace did not come through punishment. Exhausted, weak, and close to death, he realized something profound. Suffering is not ended by running from life or fighting against it. Peace does not grow from extremes. That night, he sat beneath a Bodhi tree. He made no vow to conquer the world. He made no promise of miracles. He simply resolved, I will sit here until I understand. As the night deepened, memories arose, fears appeared, desires whispered. Yet he did not turn away. He watched them as one watches clouds pass across the sky. And in that watching, something shifted. He saw that suffering comes not from life itself, but from clinging. Clinging to pleasure, clinging to identity, clinging to certainty in an uncertain world. At dawn, as the morning star appeared, his heart awakened, not into escape, but into clarity. He saw life exactly as it is, impermanent, interconnected, fragile, beautiful. And in that seeing, there was peace, a peace that did not require the world to be calm, a peace that could exist even in turbulence. When the Buddha first spoke after his awakening, he did not offer beliefs to adopt. He offered a diagnosis. Like a gentle physician, he spoke of four truths, not as dogma, but as observation. There is suffering. There is a cause of suffering. There is an end to suffering. And there is a path that leads there. This path was not meant only for monks or seekers or those who renounce the world. It was meant for ordinary people living ordinary lives in an extraordinary world of change. One of the greatest misunderstandings about the Buddha's teachings is the idea that peace requires withdrawal, that we must escape society, silence all emotion, or detach from love. But the Buddha did not teach numbness. He taught presence. Inner peace, in his understanding, is not the absence of feeling, but the absence of being controlled by it. It is the ability to feel deeply without drowning, to care without clinging, to engage with the world without being consumed by it. The Buddha once compared the mind to a lake. When the water is stirred by wind, the surface becomes restless, reflections distort, depth is hidden. But when the water grows still, clarity returns. The lake does not disappear. The world around it does not vanish. It simply becomes clear. In the same way, inner peace is not about stopping life. It is about allowing the mind to settle so we can see clearly. In the Buddha's time, there were wars, disease, poverty, and social unrest. People feared death. They feared losing status. They feared change. Sound familiar? The external forms change, technology, language, speed, but the inner struggles remain. This is why the Buddha's teachings still speak to us today. Not because they promise a perfect world, but because they teach us how to live in an imperfect one with grace. As you listen, notice your breathing. There is nothing to fix, nothing to improve, just the simple rhythm of inhale and exhale. Peace does not demand effort. It arises when effort softens. The Buddha's teachings, pathways to inner peace. Welcome back. If you are still listening, still breathing softly, still allowing this moment to unfold, know that nothing is required of you. The story continues not as something separate from your life, but as a quiet mirror reflecting what you already know deep inside. In part 1, we sat beneath the Bodhi tree with the Buddha and touched the beginning of awakening. The realization that peace does not come from controlling the world, but from understanding the mind. Now we walk gently into the heart of his teachings, not as rigid rules, not as distant philosophy, but as living practices, warm, human, and deeply compassionate. The Buddha's first insight after awakening was not complicated. He saw that suffering grows in extremes. Too much indulgence dulls the heart. Too much denial hardens it. Peace lives in the middle. He called this the middle way. In our modern world, we are constantly pulled to extremes. Work harder, relax harder, think more, escape more. Even spirituality can become an extreme, another thing to achieve, another identity to defend. The middle way whispers instead, you are allowed to be human. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to care without burning yourself out. Balance is not static. It is a living adjustment, moment by moment. Right understanding, seeing clearly. The first step on the Buddha's path is right understanding. This does not mean having the correct opinions. It means seeing reality as it truly is. That everything changes, that clinging causes pain, that nothing we grasp can stay forever. This understanding is not meant to make us sad. It is meant to make us free. When we truly accept impermanence, we stop demanding that life be something it cannot be. And in that acceptance, the heart softens. Mindfulness. The art of being here. Perhaps the most well-known of the Buddha's teachings is mindfulness. But mindfulness is often misunderstood. It is not constant focus, it is not emptying the mind, it is not forcing calm. Mindfulness is gentle awareness. It is knowing what is happening while it is happening, without judgment. When you feel anxious, mindfulness does not say, stop being anxious. It says, this is anxiety. Let me sit with you. This simple act of recognition already begins to loosen suffering, because pain grows strongest when it is ignored or resisted. Breathing, the always available refuge. The Buddha often taught using the breath, not because breathing is special, but because it is always here, no matter where you are. No matter what you believe, no matter how chaotic life becomes, the breath remains. When the mind wanders, we return to the breath. When emotions surge, we return to the breath. Not to escape, but to anchor. Each breath says quietly, you are here, you are alive. This moment is enough. Non-attachment, letting go without losing love. One of the most misunderstood ideas in Buddhism is non-attachment. Many hear this word and imagine coldness, distance, or indifference. But the Buddha never taught us to stop loving. He taught us to stop clinging. Clinging says, I need this to be okay. Love says, I care, even though things change. When we cling, we suffer twice. Once when things are difficult, and again when we fear losing them. Non-attachment allows us to fully experience joy without demanding it last forever. It allows grief without collapsing into despair. It allows peace without fear of its ending. The Buddha once told a story of a house on fire. Inside, children were playing, unaware of the danger. The wise person did not shout angrily or lecture them about fire. He spoke gently, he offered something inviting, and he guided them out. In the same way, the Buddha did not condemn desire. He understood it. He saw that we cling because we want to feel safe. And so he offered a deeper safety, not in possessions, not in status, but in awareness. Compassion, the heart of peace. Inner peace is not selfish. In fact, the Buddha taught that true peace naturally gives rise to compassion. When we understand our own suffering, we become less harsh toward others. We stop needing enemies. Compassion does not mean agreeing with everyone. It means seeing the humanity beneath behavior. Even harmful actions, the Buddha taught, arise from confusion and pain. This understanding does not excuse harm, but it prevents hatred from taking root in our hearts. Loving kindness, a practice for the heart. One of the most healing practices the Buddha taught is loving kindness meditation. It begins simply, may I be safe, may I be peaceful, may I be free from suffering. Then it expands outward, to loved ones, to strangers, even to those we struggle with. This practice does not change the world overnight, but it changes the heart. And a heart at peace responds to the world with wisdom instead of reaction. Right action, peace in daily life. The Buddha's path was never abstract. It touched how we speak, how we act, how we earn a living. Peace is not found only on meditation cushions. It is found in small choices, speaking truth gently, choosing kindness when anger feels easier, pausing before reacting. These choices shape the mind, and the mind shapes the world we experience. The Buddha compared the mind to a garden. Whatever we plant, we will eventually harvest. If we plant fear, fear grows. If we plant patience, patience grows. We cannot control every seed that lands in the garden, but we can choose which ones we water. Inner peace is not about perfection. It is about tending. If you feel your body growing heavy, that is okay. If your thoughts drift, that is okay. The teachings are not meant to be memorized. They are meant to be felt. Let them settle like evening dew. Applying the Buddha's teachings to modern life. If you are still here, still listening, perhaps the world around you has softened a little, or perhaps it hasn't. Both are okay. The Buddha never promised that the world would become quiet. He taught to be quiet within the noise. Now, we bring these ancient teachings into the rhythm of modern life, into crowded schedules, glowing screens, restless minds, and hearts that are often tired before they even know why. Anxiety. When the mind runs ahead, anxiety is one of the most common forms of suffering today. When the mind races into the future, imagining outcomes, replaying what ifs, preparing for dangers that may never come. The Buddha is described as an untethered from the present. He did not say, stop worrying. He said, come back. Back to the body, back to the breath, back to what is actually here. When anxiety arises, try this gentle practice. Place a hand on your chest, feel the warmth. Notice the breath moving in and out. Say softly, I am here. Anxiety feeds on distance from the present moment, from the body, from kindness. Presence shortens that distance. Fear, meeting it with awareness. Fear is not the enemy. The Buddha understood fear as a natural response to uncertainty. The problem arises when fear controls us. Instead of pushing fear away, the Buddha invited us to look at it directly. What does fear feel like in the body? Is it tightness, heat, a hollow sensation? When we observe fear without judgment, it begins to change. Not because we force it to, but because awareness creates space. And in space, there is choice. Anger, a fire that burns the holder. The Buddha once said that holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. We are the first to burn. In a turbulent world, anger often feels justified. But the Buddha taught us to distinguish between clarity and heat. You can see injustice without hatred. You can set boundaries without cruelty. Anger clouds wisdom. Peace clears it. When anger arises, pause, breathe. Ask gently, what is being hurt right now? Often beneath anger is fear or grief or longing to be understood. Meeting that deeper feeling is the beginning of peace. Uncertainty, learning to rest without guarantees. The modern mind craves certainty, plans, predictions, control. But life has never offered guarantees. The Buddha taught impermanence not to frighten us, but to free us. When we accept that everything changes, we stop postponing peace. We stop saying, I'll be calm when things settle, because things may never fully settle. Peace is not found after uncertainty ends. It is found by learning to rest within it. Social comparison, the endless mirror. Today, we compare our lives to carefully edited images and curated stories. This comparison quietly erodes contentment. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when we measure ourselves against others, not because others are wrong, but because comparison distracts us from our own path. Your life does not need to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. Peace grows when we return to our own experience with honesty and care. Overwhelm, when there is too much. When everything feels like too much, the Buddha offered simplicity, not by rejecting responsibility, but by returning to one thing at a time, one breath, one step, one moment. The mind often says, I can't handle all of this. The Buddha gently replied, you only need to handle this, and then this, and then this. Overwhelm fades when we stop carrying what does not belong to the present moment. Relationships, where practice becomes real. The Buddha knew that relationships are where inner peace is most tested. It is easy to feel calm alone. It is harder when misunderstood, thus criticized or disappointed. This is why he taught right speech, speaking truthfully, speaking kindly, speaking at the right time. Silence, too, can be an act of wisdom. Not all thoughts need to be expressed. Peace in relationships does not come from winning arguments, but from understanding what truly matters. Compassion fatigue, when caring hurts. In a world full of suffering, many people feel exhausted by compassion. The Buddha taught that compassion must include oneself. You are not required to carry the pain of the entire world. You are allowed to rest, to set boundaries, to turn off the noise. A heart that is cared for can care again. Burnout is not a failure. It is a signal that kindness needs to return home. Finding small islands of peace. Inner peace does not require long retreats or perfect conditions. It can be found in small moments. Washing your hands and feeling the water. drinking tea and noticing warmth, standing at a window and watching the sky change. These moments are not escapes, they are returns. Living the teachings quietly, the Buddha never asked his followers to convince others. He invited them to live in a way that naturally reduced suffering. Peace, when genuine, does not need to announce itself. It is felt in presence, in patience, in the way we listen. A soft transition. As the day moves toward night, or as your mind grows heavy, let these teachings settle naturally. There is nothing you must remember. Peace is not something to memorize, it is something to return to. Healing stories, gentle practices, and resting the heart. If you are listening now, perhaps the world outside has begun to grow quieter. Lights dim, sounds soften, and the body starts to remember what it feels like to rest. This part of the journey is not about learning more. It is about allowing what has already been heard to sink gently into the heart. The Buddha often taught through stories, not to impress the mind, but to soothe it. So now we slow down even further. The story of the two arrows. The Buddha once spoke of a person struck by an arrow. The first arrow is unavoidable. It is pain, loss, disappointment, the hardships of being human. But then the person shoots themselves with a second arrow. This second arrow is mental suffering, resistance, self-blame, fear, and endless storytelling about why this should not be happening. The Buddha taught that while we cannot always avoid the first arrow, we can choose whether to add the second. Inner peace begins when we stop punishing ourselves for being human. When sadness arises, we allow sadness. When fear appears, we allow fear. We do not add, "I shouldn't feel this way." This simple kindness removes the second arrow. A gentle practice, sitting with what is. If you feel comfortable, try this now. Let your body rest just as it is. Notice any sensation, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Do not label it good or bad. Simply say quietly, "This too belongs." Nothing needs to be fixed in this moment. Peace grows when we stop arguing with reality. The story of the mustard seed. A woman once came to the Buddha, her heart shattered by grief. She begged him to bring her child back to life. The Buddha did not dismiss her pain. Instead, he gently asked her to bring him a mustard seed from a house that had never known loss. She went from door to door. Every house had known sorrow, illness, death, separation. She returned empty-handed, but not empty-hearted. She realized that her suffering, while deeply personal, was also universal, and in that understanding, her grief softened. The Buddha did not remove her pain, he removed her isolation. Grief, a form of love. The Buddha never taught us to avoid grief. He taught us to meet it wisely. Grief is love with nowhere to go. When we allow grief to move through us without resistance, it becomes tender instead of crushing. You are not broken for grieving. You are human. And humanity, when held with awareness, is gentle. Letting go before sleep. Nighttime often brings unfinished thoughts. Conversations replay, worries return. The Buddha offered a simple reflection for the end of the day. What can I release right now? Not forever, just for tonight. You can pick it up again tomorrow if needed. But for now, let the mind rest. Even the moon does not shine all day. A bedtime breathing practice. Let the breath become slow. Inhale as if welcoming rest. Exhale as if setting down a heavy bag. With each breath out, imagine the body sinking slightly deeper into the bed or the chair beneath you. There is nowhere else you need to go. The story of the lute. The Buddha once spoke to a musician. If the strings are too tight, they snap. If they are too loose, they cannot play. The same is true of the mind. Peace comes from gentle tuning, not forcing, not neglecting, just listening, trusting the process. Inner peace is not achieved in a single night. It unfolds quietly through small moments of awareness, of kindness, of letting go. Some days feel calm, others do not. Both are part of the path. The Buddha taught patience not because progress is slow, but because it is subtle. Like dawn, it arrives almost unnoticed. a long pause. If silence appears now, let it. You do not need constant guidance. Your breath knows how to carry you into rest. Peace is not escaping. It is the way we stay in an unsettled world. The Buddha did not leave the world to find peace. He left ignorance. He sat in the very middle of life, where there is birth, aging, illness, and death, and pointed to a path that does not deny suffering, yet is not carried away by it. Peace, as he taught, is not about avoiding the news, conflict, or change. Peace is the capacity to remain with all of this without losing yourself. When the world is loud, return to inner quiet. The world today never stops speaking. Notifications, headlines, opinions, arguments, each sound pulls the mind away from itself. The Buddha taught that silence is not merely the absence of noise. Silence is the space where we do not need to react. You do not need to answer every question. You do not need an opinion about everything. You do not need to prove anything. Sometimes peace begins when we allow ourselves not to know. News and collective suffering. The Buddha understood that human suffering is not only personal. We also carry the pain of the collective. War, natural disasters, loss, injustice. When we take in too much suffering, the heart may close or grow numb. The Buddha did not tell us to turn away from the world. He taught us how to stay open without breaking, through mindfulness, through healthy limits, through knowing when to pause. You can care without sinking into the pain. Not identifying with the storm. One of the Buddha's deepest teachings is this: you are not your thoughts. You are not the emotions that come and go. You are not the stories the mind tells. You are the one who is aware. Like the sky unharmed by dark clouds, your deepest nature remains spacious, even when the mind is full of storms. Seeing this does not make the storm disappear immediately, but it helps you not get lost inside it. Slowing down, acting from peace. The Buddha did not teach passivity. He taught action born from awareness. When the mind is rushed, actions often miss their mark. When the mind is calm, each step becomes clearer. Slowing down is not falling behind. Slowing down is giving wisdom the chance to lead. Peace and responsibility. There is a common belief that inner peace makes us indifferent. The Buddha showed the opposite. When the mind is peaceful, we see more clearly. We listen more deeply. We respond instead of reacting. Peace is the foundation of true responsibility, not responsibility driven by fear, but by understanding and compassion. The world's sadness and a heart that can hold it. There are days when the sorrow of the world feels heavier than usual. On those days, the Buddha does not ask you to be strong. He invites you to be gentle. Allow yourself to feel sad. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to not be okay. Peace does not remove sorrow. It gives sorrow a place to be held. You do not need to fix everything. The mind often believes we must do something to make things better. But there are moments when healing comes from not fixing. The Buddha taught unconditional presence. Being here, listening, breathing together. Sometimes the most healing gift you can offer the world is simply your peace. Peace is a whisper. Peace does not shout. It whispers. It shows up in how you enter a room, in how you listen to another, in how you treat yourself when no one is watching. Peace spreads without effort. A small lamp in the night. The Buddha did not promise that you would never lose your way. He promised that the light is always there, not a light that erases the darkness, but a light gentle enough to guide the next step. Preparing for the final softening. As this part slowly comes to a close, allow the body to grow heavy. Let the shoulders release, let the jaw soften. There is nothing more you need to understand. Just be here. As the words grow fewer, something else begins to speak. Not through language, but through quiet. This is the place the Buddha often pointed toward, not a destination, but a remembering. Nothing new needs to happen. Nothing needs to be achieved. The mind does not need to understand everything. For tonight, understanding can rest too. You may notice moments where thoughts drift away on their own. Do not chase them. Do not invite them back. Like clouds thinning at dusk, they know how to leave when the sky is not grasping. The Buddha taught that stillness is not something we create. It is what remains when effort softens. Resting in awareness. Allow your attention to rest gently on the breath, not as a task, but as a place to lean. Breathing in, the body feels held. Breathing out, the body feels safe enough to let go. You do not need to watch every breath. Just knowing that you are breathing is enough. If the mind wanders, let it wander kindly. Each return is not a failure, but a homecoming. The Buddha compared the mind to a bowl of water. When left undisturbed, it becomes clear on its own. Tonight, you are setting the bowl down. A reflection for deep rest. Ask nothing of yourself now. You have done enough for one day. Even the most devoted practitioners are invited to rest. Whatever was unfinished can remain unfinished. Whatever felt heavy does not need to be carried into sleep. The Buddha reminded us that rest is not laziness. It is wisdom recognizing its limits. Let the heart unclench notice if there is any place inside the chest that is still holding tight. No need to force it open. Simply breathe near it. Often, gentleness reaches places that effort never could. If emotions surface, let them pass like waves that no longer need to be named. You are not required to solve yourself tonight. The Buddha spoke of peace as something intimate, closer than thought, softer than words. Drifting towards sleep. As sleep approaches, awareness does not disappear. It simply loosens its grip. You may not notice the exact moment sleep arrives. The Buddha said this is a sign of trust when the mind no longer needs to witness everything. Let yourself drift without watching the drifting. Final blessing. May your body rest deeply. May your heart feel unburdened. May the mind set down its tools for the night. Like the earth after rain, you do not need to try to be renewed. Renewal happens by itself, and if silence holds you now, allow it. Nothing more is required. Now we arrive at the end of our journey together. Not an ending of meaning, but an ending like nightfall. Nothing abrupt, nothing forced. Just a gradual softening into quiet. If your body feels heavy, let it be heavy. If your mind feels slow, let it slow. You have already done enough by simply being here. Remembering what truly matters. The Buddha never asked us to escape the world. He asked us to understand it. He did not promise a life without pain, but a heart that does not have to be imprisoned by it. Inner peace, as he taught, is not found by rearranging circumstances. It is found by gently changing how we meet them, with awareness, with compassion, with patience. This peace is not dramatic. It is quiet, steady, trustworthy. It stays even when the world feels uncertain. You do not need to be perfect. One of the Buddha's greatest gifts was permission to be imperfect, to stumble, to forget, to begin again. Each breath is a new beginning. Each moment is another chance to soften. You are not late. You are not failing. You are learning how to be human with kindness. A final reflection before sleep. As you rest now, you may gently reflect. What did I carry today that I no longer need tonight? There is no need to answer clearly. Simply allowing the question to pass through the mind is enough. Let the answer dissolve into the breath. Gratitude. A quiet thank you. Thank you for sharing this time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing stillness in a world that rarely pauses. If these teachings have brought you even a small sense of calm or comfort, may that peace continue long after the sound fades. A gentle call to action. If this story has supported you, you are warmly invited to like this video and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you help create more spaces of quiet, healing, and mindful storytelling for yourself and for others who may need it. You are also welcome to return anytime on restless nights, tired evenings, or moments when the heart needs a soft place to land. drifting into rest. As this journey comes to a close, there is nothing more you need to do. If you are still awake, thank you for being here, for offering yourself this time of rest. And if sleep has already taken you, these words are simply a soft presence, passing by without needing to be heard. This space was created with care, with slowness, and with the wish that you may feel a little less alone in the quiet of the night. If this gentle story has brought you even a small sense of ease, you are warmly invited to support this channel in whatever way feels right. You may choose to like this video, to subscribe, or to return again on another night when rest feels far away. Each small gesture helps this space remain open and continue offering calm, kindness, and moments of stillness to others who may need them too. There is no pressure, no urgency, only an invitation. For now, let go of the screen, let go of the day. Allow the night to carry you the rest of the way. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Good night. Sleep gently.